Hey guys, and welcome back to this week's video on how to get rid of Aptasias. So I just want to jump straight in with this, starting with all the options that you have to choose from, and then I'll go through each one individually on what it does and how effective it is and what kind of price you're going to be paying for it. So we've got loads of different types of solutions: fish, invertebrates, all that kind of stuff. So enjoy. Alright, so to start off with, the solution that I prefer to use, I've only just recently started to use this actually, so if we bring the camera back a little bit, angle it up. So we've got this one, this is called Anti-Aptasia by NT Labs. This stuff is pretty cheap, £13, but it does last. You could probably hit, well, here's the bottle actually. Here's the bottle here. So it's just kind of this pink fluid, but it does turn into like a little smoke, blue smoke, when you put it into the tank. Yeah, with all this solution, you could hit about maybe quite a few hundred Aptasias, because I've already got maybe like 30 of them. With, I mean, it wasn't filled with filled right to the top. It was maybe like a centimeter, maybe a centimeter and a half. And I hit like 30, 40 with them with that. So you could definitely get maybe 200, 300 at the most Aptasias with that stuff. Lasts a really long time, super cheap, really effective. So that's one of the solutions you can go with. Another solution is Red Sea's Aptasia X. I used to use that, but I didn't have as much success with it. So personally, I wouldn't go with that. It's a little bit more pricey as well. I think it's like £15-16. Fish wise, that you got copper band butterflyfish, got filefish. Filefish not being always reef safe, kind of got the same bad luck with angelfish. Kind of got like a 50-50 shot really. A little bit more luck with a little bit more chance of them being reef safe with smaller ones than larger ones, but again they won't eat as much. And invertebrate wise, we have an Aptasia eating nudibranch and a peppermint shrimp, true peppermint shrimps. So to kick it off, I'm going to use this stuff. I'm going to inject this into a Aptasia, and we're going to see in maybe a few minutes time towards the end of the video to see whether or not it has killed it, which it definitely will have. Alright, so I finally found an Aptasia. So you can see right in the centre of the screen, the thing with the whiskers right there, right above my finger there, in the middle. That's an Aptasia right there. So we're going to put this solution. You don't have to inject it into the flesh. You can do that, probably get the same result. I injected like 2 or 3 of them, only because they're really big, and I kind of wanted to see what injecting them into the flesh would do, and you get about the same result as long as it goes into the Aptasia. I mean, it always works, isn't it? So what we're going to do is we're going to get the needle. And because this is really small, there's no chance of me injecting there, so I'm just going to... Solution's coming out now. You kind of just got to put it in that area. Obviously there is a coral right there, it's a little Taraki coral SBS. Shouldn't bother it. You've got to keep it as far away from other corals as you can. Ideally your LPS corals, because they've got like LPS and soft corals, because they got a soft skeleton, they can burn them away, but still a little bit more risky with LPS than SPS corals, so you just got to keep away from those. So you can see it's still out at the moment, but what we're going to do is we're going to look at that in maybe a few minutes time towards the end of the video and see whether or not it has disappeared. Okay, so that's the Anti-Aptasia, that's it in action, I guess. And then you got so we've got 2 solutions, we've got 2 fish and 2 invertebrates. So the second solution, as I mentioned earlier, was the Red Sea Aptasia X. A little bit more pricey. It's Red Sea's product, so you'd think it's good, really, but it kills probably 80% of the ones you hit. So, but with this stuff, it kills like 100% of the ones that you hit. It kills every single one you try and kill. So that's completely great. So ideally, I wouldn't go for Red Sea's one. You can try it if you've had a good success with it, and great. but personally I get more success with this NT Labs anti-Aptasia, much better. So that's one of the options you can go for. Fish, you got your file fish. They're a little bit more little pricey. You're looking about maybe £40–50 for one, depending on what kind of species you're going for. But if you've got an SPS dominated tank, they might be fine. You got a little bit more risk with them against LPS and soft corals, because they like to munch on the kind of soft tissue, I guess. Doesn't mean they won't go for SPS at all. They can go for it, but you got a little bit more chance of them going for the LPS or the softer corals than the SPS. So just bearing that in mind, I think it's probably worth getting one if you just got only, literally strict only SPS corals in the tank. You may got a little bit more chance there. The second fish you can go for is a copper band butterflyfish. Something a little bit more reef safe, much nicer fish. You've got the orange and the white band. It's quite a big fish. You probably need about, right, I'm going to say bare minimum 180 litre tank if it was in there temporarily just to eat your Aptasias and it was really small. You could do it. It definitely do fine if it's in there temporarily. Just make sure it's really small. If it's really small, it's got more kind of like swimming space. If it's very big, then it won't really fit in all the little crevices it like to hide in, all the little caves and that. But if you want one permanently, full size, then ideally you want bare minimum. Well, not a bare minimum, but ideally you want about a 300 litre tank minimum. Obviously, the bigger the better, really. The more space it's got, the better. So you want about 400 litre tank for a copper band. Because when they do get full size, they do like to swim quite a lot about, not fast, but they kind of like to cruise, I guess, around the tank quite a lot and go in and out the caves. Yeah. Moving on to invertebrates, you've got fewer invertebrates. You have your peppermint shrimps. They have to be the true peppermint shrimps. It's nearly impossible to tell the difference without some weird science test kits and that. So you just got to ask your local fish shop whether or not they got them and whether or not they are the true peppermint shrimps or the false ones. It's really important you get the true peppermint shrimps. Also really important you get them in a minimum group size of 2, because they don't eat Aptasias by themselves. They need a little bit. They're kind of like wolves, I guess. They hunt in like packs, I guess, at night as well. So actually, no, they're very, very similar to wolves, weirdly. Yeah, they'll come out at night. They'll go in like a pack. I guess it's like a competition for food, I guess. So ideally, you want like a group of 5 or 6 of them in there. But the only issue with these is they're overpriced. All right, that's everywhere. I went to 3 different shops. 2 of them £18 each. Another one was £19 each. Really, really pricey. So if you've got the money for them, go for a peppermint shrimp. They should be good, completely reef safe. And the final, actually no, there's 2 more options. You got the Aptasia eating nudibranch, which again really pricey. I saw online like a pack. I'm gonna say a pack of 3. They're really, really small little bugs for £50. Yeah, really ridiculously priced. But again, if you've got the money for them, then yeah, go for them. But there's always a but with these things. You can't keep them with wrasse. I've got 4 wrasse in here, so obviously I can't go for that. Plus I wouldn't spend 50 quid on 3 little bugs. So if you've got no wrasse, don't need a big tank at all. They're really half the size of a pea. You probably never see them really. I guess just watch the Aptasias. Maybe get camera rolling on one of them. You might just get some footage of them. So no wrasses. You should be fine. I've heard of one. I think it's the harlequin shrimp or coral. I think it's the harlequin shrimp or one type of shrimp that actually eats them as well. So I'd look that up before you do that, because there is one type of shrimp that eats them as well. Pretty sure it's the harlequin shrimp. They eat starfish as well. So bear that in mind as well. And then the final option, which is the cheapest, easy, and quickest, I'd say. Well, I'm just going to say the cheapest option to go for, and that is boiled RO water. I've heard of some people having some okay success with this. They work 50% of the time. You might have to hit them a few times. You'd have to boil it in a kettle or something, just anything just to get them really hot, the RO really hot, and then just get maybe a needle or something, and then just kind of you could inject it and it might just melt the inside out. So that can work, but yeah, if you've got some RO lying around, then just do it right now. Obviously, keep it away from your corals as much as you can. I'm going to show you the Aptasia now, actually, whether or not it has gone. So that's where it was. Remember, we were just above this blue digi, right where that little green coral there was Taraki, and that's right where the spot was. And checking about, and it's completely gone. Yeah. It's not there at all. It's not like it takes a few days for the anti-Aptasia to work. It takes a few minutes, or a few seconds, and it just completely melts the insides, completely disintegrates it. And it works 10 out of 10 of the times, 100% of the time, always hits them, always kills them. So 100% go for the anti-Aptasia. It's so amazing, it's undescribable. Completely reef safe. You could get a few hundred of these with them. So yeah, that's the end of the video off. Hope you enjoyed this this video. I'll see you guys next week with probably a video on my dosing. Well, I'm starting to dose now, so I'll talk all about that, what I'm dosing, how much, and what my alkalinity I'm thinking of keeping it at. So I'll see you guys next week with that video. Bye.